Hey, this is funny. So many of you know this guy named Jesse Lee Peterson. He's a 70-year-old black religious conservative. I've been on his show. I've appeared in his studio in Los Angeles at his Christian Men's Counseling Center. Yeah. When I was last in Los Angeles, or not last, actually, a couple times ago. Maybe it was last time. Now I don't even remember. It's all a blur. He was recently, either he was interviewed by or he interviewed another conservative Trumpist named Nick DiPaolo. Now, if you've not heard of Nick DiPaolo, I don't know how he pronounces the last name. Nick DiPaolo is a 57-year-old Trumpist comedian from the Boston area, shockingly enough. And the topic came up when they were talking to each other of apparently Jesse Lee Peterson seems to think that he and I are debating at Politicon this weekend. Now, I'll talk more about that in a second. And they took it as an opportunity, I guess, to frame me as some idealistic, wide-eyed, naive 18-year-old political correctness socialist lefty or something like that. Take a look at this clip.
Well, he's actually going to be debating David Pakman at Politicon on October 27th in Nashville. Please welcome Jesse Lee Peterson. Jesse, how are you?
All is well. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure, Jesse.
And by the way, I said earlier, I really like your studio. It looks sharp in the background.
Yeah, I'm not good with my hands, but we found a cheap place where I could save about $2,000 a month, and me and my producers were at Home Depot, all weekend buying plywood and 2x4s, and somehow we got it all together in a weekend.
Great job.
Yeah, and we love it much better, actually. It's more intimate, and I'm actually proud of people saying nice things about it. Let me ask you, Jesse, first things first, who's this guy you're debating, and do you need help? Because he sounds like a punk. No, I'm just kidding. Who's David Pakman?
I've had him on my TV show, the fallerstate.tv.
Yeah.
I believe he's been on a radio show or something like that. He's just another little young liberal who has no idea of what he's doing or what he's talking about. He's one of those intellectuals who has no sense of common sense at all. So I'm trying to help him find his way back home.
It's a nice way of putting it. How do these kids get so lost? Kids, I'm 57. I guess I can say that. How do they get so lost, Jesse, today? And why are they so susceptible to a lot of this left-wing PC garbage culture? They seem to ingest it. I know it goes back to college campuses and even further back. How do you undo that? How are you going to get this guy home?
Well, it's really due to the lack of fathers. When you don't have a father and a mother who are perfect examples for you, if the father's not the head of his wife and the children, then the mother tend to take over, and women tend to be emotional. And so the boys and girls are turned away from their father, so they take on the thoughts and ideas of their mothers and their feelings. So when they go out into the world, it's easy to deceive them because women tend to be intellectual, and men tend to be logical.
It's also funny to me when you watch something like this. Nick DiPaolo seems to be talking to Jesse Lee Peterson like Jesse Lee Peterson is a serious political person, which is just precious and hilarious. And it's not the approach I've taken when I do stuff with Jesse. But left-wing political correctness, that's not this show. That's not me. That's never what it has been. How to get me home, they want to figure out. A lack of a father. I have a father, and there's no problem there. And hilariously, if you looked at the live chat while they were broadcasting this, the comments aren't just about me being, girly man, feminized, sissy liberal as the problem. A lot of the people in the live chat were saying, no, the problem with David Pakman is he's one of these Jew liberals. That's the real problem. Anyway, clearly, society is going to progress as a result of the political discourse that happens when a 70-year-old and a 57-year-old make fun of a 35-year-old who isn't even there to defend himself on the basis of incorrect allegations, right? This is really how we're going to solve the world's problems. Now, let's get to the Politicon thing. I am confused about why Jesse Lee Peterson believes that he's debating me at Politicon. I'm not going to Politicon. I have no tickets to Nashville. I have a weekend of social and family gatherings planned. People have notified me that Politicon on their website listed an event that shows me debating Jesse Lee Peterson, I think on Sunday at like 3 or 4 p.m. And I have no idea why. My manager was in discussions with Politicon. We never got an offer in writing with all of the parameters and logistics that had sort of been mentioned verbally. And they have it scheduled for a time, Sunday afternoon, where even if I were to go, I wouldn't be able to do it at that time. We had problems getting the travel together. I was waiting around for a written offer for something like 6 weeks. In any case, nothing happened. I was never going to Politicon, never had flights to Nashville, never signed a contract. There's actually, I'm kind of being careful because there's actually a lot more to this story. I don't think it's appropriate for me to tell it right now, but much like Sam Cedar had a story to tell about Politicon, and he waited nearly a year to tell that story. He recently told it. It relates to Steven Crowder. I also have a story to tell about Politicon, which maybe I will someday tell, but not today. And a lot of my friends are going to Politicon and participating, and I don't want to get anybody in trouble, throw anybody under the bus, or do anything. But there is a story to tell. In any case, I was never going to Politicon. I will not be there. I'm not debating Jesse Lee Peterson. I have no idea what he will be doing or what he thinks he will be doing. It's all kind of a nebulous, very sort of opaque situation. But I will not be at Politicon for everybody who's been emailing me and asking about it.